This is LA Kings Fan Talk, where we know nothing. And now, your hosts, Rodney and Rob.
What's up, Kings fans? The road trip is finally over. What a road trip it was. With the Kings' latest victory over Detroit, Kings finish 4-0-2 for the best 6-game road trip in franchise history. Not bad for a lowly Pacific Division team versus the mighty Eastern Conference, right, boys?
Woohoo.
That's right.
Darren, thanks for joining us again. Let's start with you. What are your thoughts on the Kings road trip?
Personally, it was a disappointment because they lost to the Flyers. But overall, they did what they needed to. They got 10 points. You know, I think we said last week, 6 or 8 is what they need to get to maintain their pace. 10 points, can't be unhappy about that. Again, personally, losing to the Flyers, that's like, we can't do that. But otherwise, you know, can't be really too upset.
Looking ahead to the Pens game.
It's that 10 o'clock start. Why start at a West Coast team at 10 o'clock? That's just rude.
Rob, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. You know, you sit there and put up points like that on the road, on the East Coast, getting points. The only thing that would have made it better is if that was actually in conference and in division to win games like that. Because, you know, when we're beating the Oilers, if we could beat them in regulation, then they're not getting points. It's one of those 4-point game stuff. So when you're playing the Eastern Conference, we have to hope now that the whole Pacific Division loses to the Eastern Conference now to really make those points count even more. But points in every single game. Dano might start being my second favorite King right now. When he interviews too, he's a cool guy to listen to. I'm really, really enjoying him. So, but great road trip. Super happy.
So with Roy and Anderson out, I think the Kings rolled the same defensive pairing last few games. Rob, what do you think about Moverari and Strand? How do you think they did?
Awesome. I'm a Strand fan because I like I've said many times before, the bigger players. Strand's a big dude, 6'4". It's great to see him just step right in seamlessly, get shots through. You know, got in a little scrap a little bit. You know, a little scrum. And when you're that big and strong, it's just everyday work. You know, he fit in. That's what move rare fits right in too. I call him move rare. It's compound word. So he fits right into the seamlessness of these guys that are coming in, stepping right into the system. It gives me hope that the organization's moving in the right direction and we can get through these little bumps in the road where people are getting hurt, and it's makes me proud. I'm just super, super happy about it. But what I think it makes it even a little more is for it to be the defensemen that are coming in and doing that. You know, NHL defense is a lot different than AHL defense. So little bit surprised that it was that seamless, but man, I'm super happy about it.
What'd you think, Darren?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the good thing with Moverari was you didn't notice him, good or bad. Like he played well in the Pens game. I think he had that nice pass to Moore, but you know, he wasn't like making blaring mistakes, but he's not super flashy either. You know, like you see Jersey out there and he'll dangle guys, but he'll also get beat easy, you know what I mean, around the outside. Whereas like with Moverari, it was kind of the opposite. Like he wasn't doing the flashy plays, but he just makes the solid plays. And having that as our 9th, 10th defenseman, like that's great to have, you know what I mean? Organizational depth wise. Strand again, like I don't think he played as well in the Pittsburgh game. I think it was a little because of like his time on ice. I don't know if he just wasn't playing penalty kill or whatever. He only had like 15 minutes compared to some of the other guys. But in that Detroit game, I mean, he was the reason it was 2-1. Like his 2 shots were what we scored on. So, like Rob said, you have to be super happy that those guys made the transition. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it overall. Like the fact that we're continuing to win with top 4, top 6 guys out of the lineup, like that's another plus.
Are you happy with the Kings' defensive pairings right now?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to do what they have to. Like, I think Bjornfoot is. I want to see him go forward more, but I know with Dursey he kind of has to stay back. So, but I like his defense overall. I think that third pair of Mata and Strand is what it is. Obviously, I wish we had someone better than Moverari to put in there at the top D pair, but Dursey and Bjornfoot have so much chemistry, and I don't think Mata works with Doughty. So, what are you going to do?
I do have to ask Rob about Dursey. The Dursey jump up in your Kings defensive rankings once he got in that fight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's exactly why, you sit there and I always question the grit, the toughness. And I thought that was real awesome. I mean, to see a guy that was just straight emotion too. That wasn't fake out there where he, hey, I'm going to try and get this going. That was just, I'm going to stick up for myself because you, and it was great to see, he, even though he's a little feller, he's our smallest defenseman, but it was just great to see him go out there and do that. Toby Bjornfoot, has he taken a step back the last couple of weeks?
I think it's almost like what Darren's saying. He's had to go to just being defensive, playing with Dursey. When before that, he was rushing up the ice, getting some shots on goal, wrapping around the net, kind of stuff going on.
And I'm just wondering if he's a rookie, just the ups and downs of a rookie season a little bit.
Could be.
And if this is his down, great, because it's just a lull to me. He's just in a little bit of a lull. It's nothing bad, but I thought he was a little more dynamic last month. So they pumped Mata up last game. They were talking about how great Mata was. How great
did.
Mata's been good though. I don't understand all the Mata hate. I'm not sitting here loving him, but I don't understand the hate. Mata to me is a really good second pairing, third pairing defenseman. And that's what he's been for us. He's been solid as far as I know. I mean, I don't know anything.
I think the problem for me with Mata is he has those 2 blunders a game. Like you look at a guy like Bjornfoot and I don't see him having blunders. I don't think he has like as many top or like high level plays as Mata could have, like, carrying the puck in, so on and so forth. But he also, there's a play, I forget what game it was. He's on the left-hand side and someone makes a simple pass to him and it goes through his like stick in his skates and it's like, and it leads to a 2-on-1 the other way. And it's like, those are the kinds of plays where, Jake Muzzin makes that play that all the guys who the Kings fans have loved to hate the last 10, 12 years, even longer. Like he makes those plays once or twice a game. I think that's all it is.
No, I know. I understand all that. I don't see it that often. I just don't. Maybe I got goggles on for Mata.
Mata blinders.
But yeah, but it's not going to matter because he's going to be gone next year. So
it doesn't Mata.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's going to be gone next year. Just like I wish I had a little recording, a little thing that we could play back all the time from previous episodes and stuff like that. I still, for a while there, everyone was screaming not only kill Mata but fire McClellan. Are these people still wanting McClellan gone? When I said it's not a coach thing. I'm telling you, it's
Right.
not a coach thing. It's never been a coach thing.
That was happening earlier this season. People were
Right.
saying it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it was
know?
on that 7-game losing streak, and it was just like, I mean, that was the streak when we lost Dowdy and Walker, and it was like, and we were playing. I think we were playing the Central at that time, and it was like we were playing all the big dogs in the Central, and it was like tough game period, and we were down 2 defensemen. And it's like that's not McClellan's fault,
right? And I get when a coach doesn't set lineups the way a fan thinks, that they can have some displeasure with the coach and stuff like that, but never to a point to where I think just because you don't like the guys, the way the lineup is, he shouldn't be fired. To me, fireable means the system sucks. The system you're running, the guys aren't listening anymore. You know, that kind of stuff. Those are the fireable offenses. But if it's I think this guy should be playing the second line and not the third line, that stuff, that's what a coach does, man. The lineup stuff, fire a coach for lineup stuff, I've never understood.
What if the GM offers to pay $100,000 to the coach to throw the game every game?
It's funny. It's funny when they're all, yeah, that happened and blah. So shut up.
So I want to go through all the forward lines that we've been rolling with, but let's talk about the goalies real quick. What do you guys think about Quick and Peterson?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they played well on the road trip. I think the only one, which game was it that they played that I wish they had made a better save? It was like the Rangers game or something like that when we let in that goal, 5 minutes left, and it was like, those are the timely saves we need. But I mean, I said it last time. We have 2 goalies who need to play about 50%, and you know they do well when they get their game on, game off, game on, game off. Like, and I don't think there's much to be complaining about too often. So when we're winning like we are, so
Is it too much of a stretch to say that we own the Penguins?
No, not at all. Because prove us wrong.
I feel like Kings are always playing their best against the Pens.
Quick had the 2 losses during the road trip. I mean, we got points out of both of them, but he is the one that did get that Philly loss that hurt so bad, that stung so bad. And then he got
that Philly loss. He had that like weird shot from halfway that he left right in the slot.
Right,
just like,
you know, he only gave up 2 to the Rangers in the shootout loss. He actually did well in the shootout too. So, but losses are losses. I don't know, but back and forth. I'm happy with the way the goaltending's doing. It is what it is.
Same. All right, let's go through the forward lines. Rob, what do you think about the Kopitar Kempe follow line?
It's stale. I don't know. Kempe, you know, everyone's loving Kempe's 19 goals, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up. The last 7 games, he has 2 goals and both were empty netters.
Right.
Maybe. If I'm thinking correctly? Kopitar has 42 points. The next closest is 29 by Arvidsson. Why is Kopitar so far ahead of everybody, and he just doesn't seem like he's producing?
Right. It's
6 points in game 1.
It's that secondary assist, right?
Obviously, he's still pushing the offense. You know, he's still our number 1 center. He's playing more minutes than anybody. And it's not a point a game, but he's still the guy. And I just feel sorry for him because I'm not sold on Iafallo. Still.
Trade bait for you if you were the GM?
I don't know. I don't know. Iafallo's doing better than I thought, though. I'll still say that much. He's on pace for 48 points, 50 points, maybe. I'm still, right now, I think the only other person on pace to score over 60 besides Kopitar is Arvidsson. And he's been heating it up lately. And that's the only reason why he's kind of jumped up to that pace. I don't understand where our scoring comes from sometimes when I look at all the stats and it's only Kopitar is the only one that has top 50 stats. He's the only guy that's in the top 50 in scoring for our team. And it'll be that way the whole time. While other teams have 4 guys, 5 guys, their whole first 2 lines are up there. Florida's ridiculous. Pittsburgh, the 3 guys from Boston. I mean, I don't know. Our first line, the Kopitar line, it's just smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
What is Athanasiou on pace for? He's only played 5 games?
Yeah, he's only played 7 games. How many games has he played?
I thought it was 12 or something.
Has he played?
I'm sure it is.
15 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got 8 points. So he's, over a whole season, that's 45 points, right. 40.
All right, let's move into the second line. Danault, Moore, and Arvidsson. Darren, what do you think about that line?
I mean, they basically drove us that whole, call them the RV line because they drove us through that whole, that whole road trip. We hopped on their back for that road trip and they carried us there. So
just don't call them the nice line.
Yeah, what was that? What was that?
Yeah, no.
But go ahead.
No. I think, we didn't see this from Trevor Moore to start the season. I don't know if he's just picking up his luck finally. He was super unlucky to start the season. Not even looking at stats, just, remembering plays where he had wide open nets and he hits posts. He hits, the goalie throws his glove over and barely catches it. It's just, and I think his luck is catching up to him and he's finally putting the puck in the net. Those guys have been playing awesome.
He went top titty on that one goal.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. He had a beautiful goal, and so did Lazat a few games back. Also riffed it. Really nice.
Both goals by Moore in his 2-goal game. Those are those are high level shots right there. That backhand, and then when he sniped the corner on that little breakaway, that was awesome.
Yep.
What do you think about your boy Arvidsson, Rob? Just doing what he was paid for?
Do what you do. Yeah, do your job. Earn your money. That whole Patriot do your job thing. I like that mantra, but I like earn your money.
I almost think that he watched our show last week, and he's been passing a little more as opposed to shooting it every time. Do you guys notice that?
Yep, definitely. They've all been working the puck around.
Yeah.
Watch his body language on 2-on-1s when they don't pass him the puck.
Is he not happy?
He wants that damn puck every single on a 2-on-1. He wants them to pass it to him every time.
Having watched the Kings for so many years where nobody wanted to shoot, they just all wanted to pass. It's kind of refreshing to see somebody that actually wants the puck and wants to shoot it.
Yeah. Even on the one, I forgot what the 2-on. It might have been more. I can't remember. There was a 2-on-1. They didn't pass it. He shot and scored, and he almost still looked pissed that he didn't pass him the puck. He's always chirping for the puck. Always. It's good.
All right, line 3, Byfield, Brown, and Athanasiou. Rob, what are your thoughts?
It's kind of by default. Those are line 3 has turned into the Frankenstein. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what parts fits together and let's see if it sticks. I think it's obvious. It's our worst line. And I don't mean to use that negative wording. It's our worst line, but it's the other 3 lines just carry the play more. They're just more productive. But they're going to have to light a fire under each other's asses and get that thing going because it can't be unproductive for much longer before changes are made. And Anthony is kind of just like almost a bad third wheel. There's just no chemistry with those three guys.
Yeah, the more I watch Brown, or I'll look at his facial expressions on the bench, I'm wondering if this is his last year. He might pull a Brady. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, with his play, I kind of hope so. Unfortunately, like I love Brown. He brought us 2 cups, but he's slowing that line down. I think that line, they're just inconsistent because you'll see they had like, there was a period. It was like, I think it was the first or the second period in the Penguins game where they had 3 shifts in a row where they were dominant. And then the rest of the game, they were getting dominated. And it's just like, they're just slightly inconsistent. I don't know if it's a matchup thing or just they got on the ice when we had the puck in the offensive zone and they were able to kind of go kind of thing. But I think they're just inconsistent is all. So they can find some consistency and maybe that's just comes with playing together. I mean, you look at how long those other 3 lines have been together. I think the top 2 lines have been together, 15 games or so now, maybe 18 games since the start of about the start of the year, right? And then the 4th line hasn't been touched besides when Lemieux was out and Lizotte was out. So I think just that little bit of chemistry, give them 8-10 games together. Let's see how it goes.
How do you think Byfield's doing?
I think he's good. Stoll pointed it out, and he was the reason why the first goal happened in that Red Wings game, and it was almost like over what's the word I'm looking for? Like he did too much almost. You know what I mean? Like he came back and instead of just finding a guy and picking him up, he tried to block the shot. He kicked it out, and it kind of went where it's not supposed to, and he did too much. Right. He just had like a little bit too much over exuberance. I think he's been fun to watch. He definitely has some youthful tendencies that he could kind of get rid of, but overall, play him 15 minutes a game, 12 minutes a game, whatever it is, I'll be happy.
Let's go to the 4th line. Lizotte, Kaliev, and Lemieux. Rob, what do you think?
The honeymoon's over a bit for me. It was real fun with the whole Lemieux, we're undefeated with Lemieux in the lineup. Lemieux scored a goal. And then here we are, a dozen games later. When was the last time Lemieux scored?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But they're the 4th line. They're not expected. They got a combined 21 goals as a line, which if that was the season totals, you sit there and go, that's not bad for a 4th line, playing 10, 12 minutes a game, getting that kind of production. So production's okay. It might be skewed just a tad because Kaliev, a couple of his goals aren't necessarily with them. And I just want more. I just want more out of it. And that's where being a fan, that's when you really start saying you don't know much, is when you're expecting the 4th line to have 3 20-goal scorers, It's just, that's not reality. But what's funny is those, not Lizotte so much, but I just think Kaliev could be a 20-goal guy, I really do. This year, if he was playing, just a couple minutes more and got a little extra power play time. So who knows? He might catch fire and he could score a dozen goals second half. You don't know, but
he might.
But it's just they were so productive for a little while there. You just kind of knew it was going to die off a bit, and it has. So they're still fun to watch.
What do you think, Darren?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. Like it's the one thing you would like complain about with McClellan is he doesn't change the lineup when we're winning, even if players like Lemieux haven't been producing. And when was the last time he scored a goal? I mean, has he scored one this calendar year? I don't think so. So, it'd be nice if, hey, let's put Grundstrom in, kind of light a fire under Lemieux. It only has to be a game or whatever, you know what I mean? If Grundstrom goes in there and plays well, hey, Lemieux, you got to earn your spot back. Next time you get a shot, get back out there. But again, we're winning, and that line was, I don't remember them being a negative too much, but they're also not a positive. So I wish they could
Lemieux's last goal was January 1st, New Year's Day.
Okay. So barely scored this year, but yeah, I mean, again, I think Lizotte has been surprisingly good. Like, I didn't expect him. What does he have now? Like 5 or 6 goals? Like
6, I believe.
Yeah, I did not expect him to have, at just over halfway having 6 goals. Like, I think last year he had maybe 5, if that, or 3, something like that. So, I think Lizotte's been surprisingly good. So I think that Lemieux spot, light a fire under him. Maybe we can get him back to scoring as well as doing the other stuff we want him to.
All right, Kings fans, that is our show for today. Don't forget to elbow that like button, subscribe, poke check that notification bell. Until next time, stay classy and go Kings go.